Okay, this is a critique, storytelling, and explanation. Some of this stuff. I'm sorry, I'll do an overview of it after. In the story about Joseph Stalin. This is a biography of Joseph Stalin. I posted on Uncyclopedia, the real Wikipedia for those in the know. The now know. Uncyclopedia. That's where I found out I was a Kim Deal. The Kim Deal died in 2007. No, it didn't. That's what everyone thought. And I always knew the whereabouts of John Lennon. What was that about? What was that about? And then he got huffed. Huffed means it gets taken down, but they keep a record of it in the archive. The fictitious post that is actually the real post. It's the Uncyclopedia instead of the Wikipedia. You can check that out. I don't know what the quality is anymore because it's huffed. My Stalin was superior, but the other guy put more of a showcase on the one that got accepted. Mine got huffed, but they knew this is the real one for sure. Joseph Stalin, or Josef Vissarionovich Zhugashvili, what MS, Minister of Soviets. I don't know what MS stands for. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Was a Persian rug enthusiast and grandfather of American television producer Stephen Bochco. He was known specifically for accusing Europeans in the first half of the 20th century that they were perverts for calling themselves Caucasians. He was notoriously known for starving Ukrainians to death in order to increase grain production, with the eventual plan to replace him with the entire population of Serbia. Stalin seized power after locking up his predecessor Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov Lenin in a cave under Mount Triglav in the Julian Alps, and replaced him with similar stuffed plush toy he won at a ring toss at a Soviet fun fair. Stalin chased rival Leo Davidovich Bronstein Trotsky out of Russia because of the misconception that Jews' big noses were caused as a result of constant lying, and sent someone to Mexico to chop him up with an axe because he thought he was made of wood and used them for firewood to keep the proletariat warm during Russian winters. I'll make Scythians as sickly as Serbian sickle, Stalin was remembered as saying by Larry David, who is a reincarnation of Leo Davidovich Bronstein Trotsky. He led Soviet incursions into Eastern Europe, creating the Eastern Bloc with the ultimate goal of conquering Greece, which had stolen the Golden Fleece from the Caucasus and were hiding it on Olivia Newton-John's head as a wig. He blamed the poor quality of his Soviet-era rugs and the low quantity of Golden Fleece the threading, and was often forced to substitute it with his own Georgian chest hair. Stalin's very best friend, Vinny Verducci, told him at a young age, eating bread crust put hair on your chest. So in order to keep Persian rug production up, Stalin and other Caucasians ate copious amounts of bread crust, and the remaining bread was used to lead his vast broods of carrier pigeons who relayed messages tied to their legs to Europe, Russia, Asia, and even the Americas to remind Europeans that they were Aryans and not Caucasians and were perverted for thinking so. Stalin promised the Ukrainians they would stop starving when the Golden Fleeces returned to the Caucasus because Stalin believed the fleece was what enabled Persian rugs to fly and would no longer require feeding his carrier pigeons Ukrainian breadcrumbs because he could then deliver his Caucasian news briefs by flying carpet. Joseph Stalin admired the Persian rugs so much that he wrote a song about it that was eventually recovered by Aryan pervert artist Robert Crumb. Adolf Hitler, whom was known in history because he hath cloven hoof and cheweth not the cud, agreed with Stalin and was extremely jealous of Stalin's thick Georgian mustache and invaded Russia with the purpose of confiscation of the mustache, since Charlie Chaplin had already made it a laughing stock. Stalin's scorched smirk policy was for all captured Soviets to set fire to their mustaches, leaving Nazi upper lips to freeze in the Brito-Russian winter and forced him into retreat. Stalin was known for his political purges, leaving some to believe his regime was bulimic or anorexic, and often accused the top military government and officials at beach volleyball tournaments on the Black Sea that did not look good in swimsuits. Thenceforth, he locked them away in gulags to lose weight. Josef was a boy in his youth, and his family hoped he would become an Orthodox priest. But instead, he had ran away to a communist hippie commune and wrote beatnik poetry about writing working class nihilism while smoking opium. Joseph Stalin died in July 2011 after eating a split Georgia peach with the eye of Sauron in the pit that gave him a fatal bowel infection. Though it was really only his mustache that had been alive for the past 60 years. George W. Bush laid flowers at the funeral. Yeah, that was on Encyclopedia for a month. Uncyclopedia. The real Wikipedia. In July 2011. MS, it just means Doogie Howser. Stephen Bochco did Doogie Howser, MD. MS was a medical Soviet, Minister of Soviets. Master of Soviets. Stephen Bochco, Caucasians. What a funny word. What's that supposed to mean? It's funny, I mentioned this. You said that word caucus in another video. It's caucus of the Six Nations Haudenosaunee Native Confederacy word that was used in American politics as a infrastructure. Okay, I gotta go.